The best part about having your parents be your parents when you're on social media is the only thing they couldn't do is take your phone, which is great.
I'm a purebred entrepreneur for real, like documented.
Been through the mud and now I'm growing in sunshine.
Morning walk talk or morning sitting on my ass in the car talk. Some days are just gloomy. Not every day you're gonna wake up and be like, I'm gonna dominate the world. Like getting into that mindset of being able to grind through a day that doesn't feel as awesome, or, you know, getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. I think so much of what today's world's anxiety and unhappiness is around is we demonize losing, that we don't realize like losing and adversity is the foundation of success and like competence and ability, like the ability to grind through a fucking day where it's fucking raining and disgusting right after summer and you're like, fuck this shit. Being able to fucking grind through that 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever fucking your reality of your world is, that's good stuff. That's what we need to talk more about. So we gotta clap up for all the people that persevere through days that they don't want to. Getting comfortable with micro adversities is powerful. Have the best day, everyone. Vayner Nation, what's good? Really excited to do another live episode back in the office in New York with one of my favorite families on earth. The D'Amelios are here, all 4 of them. That always makes it the most fun. Parents' fear for kids to be in situations that are challenging has destroyed the kid. Parents continue to over-coddle children, and what they think they're doing is helping, and what they're doing is they're signaling to the kid, I don't think you're capable of doing shit without my help, which then renders that kid to not be confident.
A lot of times kids figure things out, and
it's the hardest balance because you sit there and you want to give your kids more than you had, and you have all this knowledge and you want to protect them every way, and it's detrimental. And I think that's why people are like, oh, the kids are so well grounded, because as much as we did that, we did try to have them fall when they on their own.
Yeah, that was very important.
People are struggling out there with this conversation and they're blaming things. They'd rather blame TikTok and the phone for their lack of strategic parenting. We lack accountability on this subject matter from the kids level and the parents level. And I think you 4 sit in a very unique place to make a massive impact on the world on this. And I will continue behind the scenes to encourage you to make content around this, because you can really help people. Thoughtful, real conversations about human dynamics, that's how you change the world in a positive way. And I think you have a lot of credibility in this arena and are sitting with a lot of stuff in your head and your stomach that you haven't brought out yet. And I hope to see you do that.
I put up 100, I didn't get it right back, but you know it can all be picture perfect. You know the return for the be enormous. I'm living my day-to-day life like a tourist. Riding electric, I don't want the yours.
Hey Gary, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Such a pleasure, Ronnie. How are you?
Great, pleasure.
Great to see you, everybody. Labor Day's funny because I hated school so much. So still to this day, I'm 46 years old, and when Labor Day comes around, I still have weird feelings about like being nervous and upset because my brain still says we're going back to school, comma, the New York Jets are my favorite thing on earth. So I also get the feelings of the football season's about to start, though the last decade has been pretty unbearable. So, and I also really love yesterday. Like the Tuesday after Labor Day is one of the weirdest days of the year for me. It's like this wild, hard reset from like the 2 weeks that I'm actually calm because I know everyone's checked out, to I've got to get 3 months worth of work done in one Tuesday because we're fucking back and let's go hard. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a very funny time of year.
Diamonds on rock. I see the plot, she wanna freak now.
When I invested in Tumblr, I called my brother and I said, AJ, Tumblr is gonna be bigger than Facebook and Twitter. It's gonna be the biggest one of them all. And he said, why? And I said, because Facebook and Twitter, you follow people. Tumblr, you follow things you're interested in. And so even back then, I was fascinated by the interest graph over the social graph. What TikTok has tapped into in the last 3 years has completely changed and will change everything we're all doing. And is the answer to your question. What we need to win on now is creative that is advertising, that is educating or entertaining, and everybody here has to leave with two things. One, we need to actually get into the creative business and make things that people want to watch. Two, we need to make it for many different consumer segmentations and go up and then see the common ground and then understand what our brand stands for based on 37 different consumer segmentations of relevance. Once you can understand the upside down model of how brands are built, because the internet now rules, not the television, then you can really start to understand what to do. How you been?
Awesome.
Good. It's my son, hold on one second. My man. Baby Bear, I'm gonna call you in a little bit, I love you. A friend of mine just said that his dad picked up his call every time he called, and his dad was a big executive, and like literally from that second on, I'm like, if my kids call, I don't give a fuck what I'm doing, I'm picking up.
Dude, honestly, I think that was the coolest fucking thing because ironically, I got a $15 million a year business. I'm making money hand over fist, successful.
Yeah, crush it.
I have contracts coming in left and right. I can do whatever I want, but I don't know my family. I made a choice at that moment to close it down and choose my family over that. It was, let me tell you.
That's a big deal.
No, it was the craziest fucking thing I ever did. Honestly, thinking back, like
how long was that happening in your subconscious, or was it very quick?
Yeah, it was probably building for about 2 years, and it was building, and I got to the point where it's like, okay, I'm gonna be dead, and they're gonna have my money, you know. So what good? I don't want to be just getting a graveyard. So I just said to myself, like, fuck it, it's not worth the money. I'd rather have the family and live in a trailer than have the money and live in a mansion.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm running super late because I'm enjoying the shit out of this. I gotta go. No, I'm enjoying it too much.
That,
Real
Thanks
pleasure.
So much. Yep.
Thanks, Real pleasure.
Thank you so much.
So good to see you again.
Seriously.
Thanks.
Appreciate your pleasure.
Mama said I'm passionate, okay, I'm blunt, I'm ashing it. Make that check, I'm cashing it. Take that chick, I'm smashing it, then passing it, no capping it. One my time, I'm taxing it. Close my eyes and imagine it.
Yeah, it's fresh.
Got me down, I'm back again. Okay, mama said I'm passionate, okay, I'm blunt, I'm ashing it. Make that check, I'm cashing it. Take that chick, I'm smashing it, then passing it.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back
to
to an all-new season of Coffee and Commerce. Super excited to be with my co-host and the legend himself, Mr. Gary Vaynerchuk.
There's a guy in the comments right now saying, did DJ T Love goes, stop lying, you guys, this is full of shit. He goes, you all didn't hustle, you guys got lucky. And I think a lot about the makeup of that comment and like really believing in that. I'm very empathetic to people being cynical or like not fully trusting. We live in a very complex world. And I think it's so practical to be optimistic and give to others because I really think when you do, good things happen to you. I just actually think it's very logical. But I was also raised by an optimistic mother. My father was raised by a pessimistic mother, and he's more like my friend in the comments here. You guys got lucky, it's cynical, it's a jealousy and envy framework, and I don't see that as a bad thing. I don't get mad at that comment. I actually have deep compassion for it. I want everybody to see what just happened. DGT Love just said, I apologize if I've offended anyone. I'm working the life out of me, and I'm being drained. This is something I want everybody who's been watching to watch. I love this dude, and instead of what most people do on shows like this, when he was coming with the heat early on and somebody behind the scenes would have banned him, or the public face that's paying attention like me would have shit on him, we come with real conversations and empathy. We had a conversation here for the last 10 minutes, and look what it leads to. And this is the civility that this country desperately needs. We have to have, like, of course people should see the world differently. We come from different angles, different perspectives, but we have to have the capacity to not be in such conflict. And that's how you lead to great things in organizations, in governments, in families. And like, I'm excited about that. This like made my day, this GT Love post. It made my day. And like, I always think I'm right, but in the face of being wrong, I'm like, fuck it, I'm wrong. And that humility, and like, I love that. Anyway, I gotta run. I'll let you guys go. We'll talk soon. Thank you, brother.
I got groovy to handle, right? What they don't want, my duty is vandal. Who need a sample? Put in work in the pandemic, Julius Randle. We don't do tantrums. Famous for art and you dudes need a scandal. They selling trauma as drama to scam you. Who the real plug playing strings and they amp you. From New York before dollar slices, when a solid slice was like $1.50.
In the last like 100 days, I've gotten so much more back into like card life. Like, you know how it ebbs and flows? Sure. Like, you know, right? Like interest and things of that nature. And so it's like, it'll be fun to chop up about cards a little bit.
Nostalgia of it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm very like that. I've always been like that. Like, running through patterns. Like, I'll always be into the same stuff, but it's like peaks and valleys.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
It's the only way to do it.
I think so. I think it's very human, and like the last 60, 90, I've been on like eBay completed items on cards more in the last 100 days than the prior year. By the way, VeeFriends is my destiny because of how I think about this stuff. Like, all this stuff is my garage sale, pop culture. Before there was eBay, when there was no logic, literally no data for what I was doing, other than if you went to an antique store and saw somebody selling it and you're like, oh, that's what it's worth. I was garage selling in 92, 93, buying Happy Days board games, I bought 1,000 He-Man figures when there was no logic to what is this worth, if anything. Back to a big point we made tonight, the cat from an investing standpoint is out of the bag. But if you're really doing it to do it, for real investment, I think that there's still a substantial delta between the obvious and the speculation. Yeah, let's do quick selfies and I'm gonna get out of here.
5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures, now we talking digits. She was saying what we saying, I was saying I'm a little different. Pulling up, big body, color and stars in the ceiling. Massage seats, shoulder rubs, feel the love when you see me. Know that they talking about me whenever I'm not in the room. Look, niggas I know they be hating, they see me, they gotta be cool. Pulling with bitches, they tens, I know I be putting them through it. They like, how did he do it? They be like, how did he do it? Fucking on her now, I'm fucking her friends, they looking like, how did he do it? I used to sleep on the floor at the crib, they looking like, how did he do it? I turn the conversation.